I'm Laura Bosazzi, and I'm a UI UX designer. I've been working in the IT industry since 2013. And the last 3 years, I'm focused on building blockchain products. Today, I will talk to you about the good, the bad, and the ugly of crypto UX. I chose the Wild West because for many reasons, blockchain is similar to the Wild West. It's a land of new opportunities. We have the gold rush. And also we have very good and very bad actors in the ecosystem. And it's a land of extremes. We have extreme fluctuation in prices. We have extremely bad things happening, like rug pulls. And one of the extremes is the extremely bad user experience. This is how our users look like when they are onboarding on crypto. They have to learn so many new things, and it's pretty hard. Sometimes they end up looking like this. They are looking for the last drop of good UX available. So I will not talk too much about the bad actors in the crypto UX because you most probably already experienced all of them. What I wanted to say about it is that sometimes you have a knowledge bias and you think that it's not that hard, it's not a big of a problem, but actually for the new user it is a big problem. Other problems that they encounter are often, it happens that they send it to the wrong address and they cannot retrieve the funds. Of course, scams and rug pulls are a problem. And price volatility for someone is a problem, but for some other people is an opportunity. Currently, we have bounty hunters who want to solve these problems, and often they are chains who use a better user experience as their advantage, as we are different because we are gonna onboard more users, we're gonna make the user experience like the Web 2 experience. We have Solana also that wants to be the chain for everyone. And there's also Polygon, which onboarded also a lot of users. There are projects that do with chain abstraction that should make things more simple and easier for users. And also we have ENS domains, which make the complex long wallet address much easier to remember, and you use a name and not a number. And we have other products that do account abstraction. But onboarding also happens on custodial wallets, on like mainstream products like Revolut, and it becomes an asset for investment on investment platforms. So when I first started designing, apps were fairly new, and I was constantly looking for resources to learn how to do it, because there wasn't like a university study for app design. And at that time, there was the human interface guidelines. And that was like a valuable resource for me. Later in the 2014, Google created material design. That was even better with more details and more resources for designers. At that time, you can imagine apps were pretty ugly, and it was really needed in the ecosystem to have some sort of guidelines. And I got like asked the question, do we have something similar for Web3? Well, Ethereum is doing it on their website. You can check it out, but they rely on community, and they rely on resources that Some links don't work, and it's not really curated well. Another question that I got asked, what's the difference when you're doing design in Web 3 versus Web 2? So the main difference is actually the process. And in Web 2, it's a very popular process, the double diamond process, because it has 4 phases. It's like divergent type of thinking when you do the discovery phase, and then convergent type of thinking when you define, and then again divergent development, and then delivery after you test your what you developed. And in Web 3, we have tumbleweeds because there often is no process. The process may look like this. We are forking stuff, and sometimes when the forking doesn't work, we get a spoon. So another different thing that from the Web 2 and the Web 3, when I was thinking with developers, 20 words were enough in the Web 2. In the Web 3, I need 100 words sometimes for thinking. So we need to talk 5 times more. Actually, we need to think much more often. And when a startup feels a bit lost, I often do a workshop with them where we dig deep in the core values of their product. And we talk about onboarding a lot because this is the way user gets to your app, and it's very important in the crypto space. And then we can think of features, because the features need to come from the core values, from the roots, from the reason why you're doing your app. And we need to always remember why user came to the app. If you already have users, that's great. You need to dig deep in their reasons why they are using and how they are using your app. And I thought it would be interesting for us to remember why crypto. What was the motivation through time? Why people started working with crypto? Well, at the beginning, it was finding the new revolution for the internet. It was a breakthrough, a different type of money. When the Bitcoin was introduced, it happened during the world economic crisis, where people didn't believe in traditional financial institution. And ideology was always a big component of the reason why you're in crypto. The early miners, obviously, they were driven by the technological challenge and the novelty. And of course, we had dark web and buying illegal substances on chain. Later, it was speculation and investment, the ICO boom and getting rich quickly. I wouldn't say it's a mainstream adoption right now, but we are kind of in the mainstream eye. The traditional financial aspects are like kind of investing in crypto as well. So there is more reasons why, and I would love for teams to add more reasons why. We need more reasons for using crypto, and it doesn't need to be only ideological or financial gain. We can build apps for different usages, and blockchain has to be the layer that just makes the app better. Blockchain doesn't need to be the only reason for your app. Because people, when they are strongly motivated, they can cope with bad UX. But if they aren't strongly motivated, if you're not getting them great APIs, they will not cope with bad UX. What you can do is always deliver value and then listen to your users. And have a feedback loop of always listening to what your user tell you about your app. Of course, user experience should be the way to cross the chasm into a wider adoption. And we should always remember the enemies of crypto UX. Sometimes enemies are not far and wild. The enemies within ourselves is when we think that UX can be done later. UX should be the way you are building. You should build together with designers. Element number 2 is obviously cutting the budget on design, because for crypto products, experience is really important. And what's the future of crypto UX? Well, from what we saw previously, there was apps that did great things, or like exchanges that innovated the UI and UX. We have also technological breakthroughs. We're lowering gas fees. There are new stuff about batching transactions. So definitely the new changes are going to come with technological improvements. And also we're going to have great product that will pave the way to a better UX in crypto. Yeah, the DeFi complexity maybe isn't a big problem, because DeFi people are highly motivated, and I believe not everyone should be able to easily put their money on such risk. Design, much like development, is never done. You always have to iterate and make it better. And this face shouldn't be the face of your users. It should be your face when you are dealing with UX problems. This is my QR code if you want to contact me and continue the conversation. If you want to show me your product, I'm open to questions now. Hey.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great presentation. Do you have any examples of specific projects that you think are fantastic Web3 UX?
I don't really think we have fantastic Web3 UX yet. But often people don't really know their audience, so they are in between crypto natives, and they want to still be friendly for newcomers, and then they have something in between, so that makes the product not super good. Well, Uniswap did a lot for exchanges, and a lot of other exchanges are copying the good things that they did. So I sometimes see bits of good communication about gas fees. I see bits and all over the place, but I cannot tell you, okay, just do what they did and it's gonna be great. Some people like, okay, Morpho did a great product for the DeFi people, but again, this is a very specific audience, so I cannot really answer.
Thank you for the presentation. There was one slide that you were saying there is a 5x increase in conveying the message in Web3 for UX.
Yeah.
Why are we failing so bad at the UX side compared to Web2? What is different, and what do we need to do better to align?
Yeah, often it happens in Web3, we have a decentralized team. And the decentralized team doesn't communicate that well. We have time differences, we have many challenges. So for me, it sometimes gets much harder to get the developer to talk to me. And the communication should be much better. Another thing is really trying to know better your audience, because you can't please everyone, and we have very different audiences. We should if we go back to the past and how like Android did it when apps became a thing, the guidelines really helped me at that time. And now guidelines are not really, like Ethereum should do much more, in my opinion, for the whole ecosystem. They are doing a lot for like the technological side, but nobody systematically thinks on the UX problems and really does it. We have new chains that do it, but it's like also in a way adding complexity. So we have more chains, and the way they do it, it's like it's very. And it needs a lot of time for, I don't know, for example, SUI to really do what they are claiming now that they will do for UX. So I don't know if that answers your question enough. There might be other stuff we could do as well, but from my perspective, this is what we can do, like take it as a serious problem and systematically work on it. Anyone else? Fine. We have 5 more minutes, but we can have a coffee break. Thank you.